Hello, fifth graders. Today we're going to be doing a review of what you read the last couple days. I'm going to break this into parts so these videos aren't very long. And I'm sorry you can't see me very well. It's kind of dark where I'm recording this, but the most important thing is to hear my voice. The first page you read in Fighting the War was about New York City. And at the time, New York City was one of the largest cities in the colonies, and it was very important. And you read about patriots, and we talked in class. Patriots are people that wanted independence. They wanted to leave Great Britain. And so when the British arrived with many ships into the harbor of New York City, Washington realized he had to do all he could to try to keep the British from taking over the city. But the Americans had no navy, and those are the ships that are on water. So he had no navy to speak of. He had fewer soldiers than the British. So he really had no chance of defending the city. But he did as best as he could. And the one thing that really helped is the night that Washington said, we need to leave, we need to surrender the city, we can't defend it, a fog came rolling in. And that fog stopped the British from coming into the city, and it allowed enough time for the Americans to sneak away without getting captured by the British. And who knows, if Washington wouldn't have been able to escape, who knows what would have happened? Maybe the Americans would have lost the war. But Washington was able to leave. And one thing I want to point out, you can see on the screen, I have a picture of what looks just like a plaque that says Bowling Green Fence. Prior to the British taking over New York City, there was a statue of King George III standing in the middle of the city. And when the Americans declared their independence, many people gathered, many patriots gathered to tear that statue down. And that statue is in this place, which we call Bowling Green Park. And this fence that is still up here was up at the time of the Revolutionary War. And here's just another angle of that picture in downtown New York City. And I took these pictures when I was in New York last August. And here in the middle of this park is where King George's statue would have been. And they also said at the time that Patriots took the top part of this fence post off. Why they did that, I don't know. And now they have in the middle of the park a beautiful looking fountain showing where King George's statue would have stood. And here is what, King George's statue would have looked like. And you can see this is a colonist, a patriot, amongst others, would have tied ropes to it and torn it down. And if memory serves me correct, they were able to use the bronze from that statue, the lead that was also in that statue, to melt it down and to form musket balls for their guns. And if my memory serves me correct, I believe they got about 3,000 musket balls from that statue of King George III, because they didn't want to be a part of his empire anymore. So that is a quick little summary of what happened in New York City, an important city that the Americans lost and would not have control of for the rest of the war. And they get it back when the war ended and the Americans had victory. Thanks for listening. Bye.